Hey, hello, greetings and welcome. So this is for the next area of theory for Wing Chun. One of the things that attracts a lot of people into Wing Chun is it's got a nice solid theoretical base to it. A lot of arts, you just kick the bag, you do the exercises, but Wing Chun's a thinking man's art. You have to think about it. And there's a whole range of fundamental theories that Wing Chun is based on, and we want to get a good solid grasp of these theories, how to apply them, how to develop them, and how to make them functional aspects of your Wing Chun training. Now, one of the theories is centerline theory, and the centerline theory basically says your central axis from your crown to your base connects to another person's central axis, and there's a center line between you and your partner. So if I'm standing this way or this way, that's the center line. It's not the frontal line, it's the center between you and your opponent. Now, along that center line, we have from the center across, and then we have a triangle from your shoulders to your partner's central axis, and their shoulders to your central axis. And the reason why it's a connection from the shoulders is because that's where they're going to punch from. So they're going to form a line like this from shoulder across, and there's a triangle. And this triangle, the way it shifts and moves, the triangle can be this way or it can be this way. That's the line you want to obstruct. A lot of people come preoccupied with the center line of from here to here has to be protected, so they put the guard on the center. That would make sense if our shoulder joint was on a center line, but it's not. It's on the sides. So we've got to obstruct this line moving towards our central axis. So my guard, theoretically, according to centerline theory, when you think about it logically, is I've got to obstruct that line. So my guard should be here, not there. If I put it on the center line, I'm not obstructing the line from my partner's shoulder to my chin. He's going to hit me. But if I put my hand on that line, that means I'm forcing him to use a curved line to hit me. Now, some Wing Chun people with the argument that I pull the elbow in, I come up the center. But as you're coming up the center, this elbow comes out, and by the time you reach full extension, it's there, and my arm is at that point, you can't hit me. If you hit like that, yes, but no one can hit like that and get full extension. The elbow has to come out to get full extension. So if you put your guard here and you're blocking down the center, the person can't reach your chin. Because even if they punch up the center, there's a point at which this elbow will come out. And then you only have to drop your body weight down your elbow and close that line just a little bit. So the center line theory is fundamentally flawed in the way a lot of people translate and view it. So we want to look at that center line theory and correct it. We put our guard to obstruct the line from the shoulder to the person's central axis. So if a person wants to hit me, and they want to take a straight line from the shoulder to my chin or to my body, I want to obstruct that line. This guard is much more efficient for that. So you only have to move a few inches to close the center line, and you only have to move a few inches to close off the flank for hooks. It creates the shortest amount of movement for the greatest amount of leverage when a person's throwing a strike at you. So I figured this out the hard way. I was sparring with an amateur boxer in the 80s. I had my centerline guard up, and he kept outflanking me and stepping off to the side and putting this curved jab into my chin. And it got very, very, very frustrating, and I made a small adjustment. I moved my hand from there to there, and then as he tried to bring it through, I only had to move a few inches to intercept that incoming hand. Where here, he could come straight in there, and I couldn't intercept it. But as soon as I moved my hand across, a little bit of movement, and I had it covered. Far more efficient for sparring and general martial arts application. And look at most martial arts systems. They go to the most logical place. They put their guard there. That's where everybody ends up. Why? It's the most efficient place to put your hands. Alright, so we're going to go through each of these centerline theories, and we're going to cover an aspect of it, and we're going to go through the pros and the cons. Why is it good and why is it bad? And I found 50 plus fundamental flaws in Wing Chun thinking. That it's just not logical. And most of these flaws were discovered through doing thousands of hours of sparring. I was addicted to sparring for a big part of my life. And when I start implementing these Wing Chun theories, they're fundamentally flawed. At first I thought, I'm not understanding them, trust the art. Where with hours and hours of sparring with people, you realize, okay, you have to change it to make it work. So traditional Wing Chun is not perfect. It's a science. All sciences are evolving and changing continuously. And we want to take Wing Chun into a new age where it's better and better every day. Every time you train, you have to improve the fundamental theory of what Wing Chun is. So this type of thinking for a traditionalist, you've got to be very brave to be able to put yourself above the tradition. But let's face it, a 20-year-old computer does not work as well as the latest computer. The latest computer is far superior. After only 20 years, the amount of changes they've made and tinkering they've made with how it works, it's just 100 times better computer. So Wing Chun's the same. There's flaws right through its hip alignment, its knee alignment, the way it holds its shoulders, to its elbow positioning, to the way it talks through the body, the way it generates force, the way it rapid fire produces force. There are simply better ways to do it. And we want to investigate these better ways, look at them with an open mind, and then the improvements that I give you, you have to improve on them and make them better again. Okay, well, thank you for your time, and we'll go through these theories, and as training partners become available for me, I'll do partner exercises for these Wing Chun lessons. So they're not going to be in a linear way that I would teach a class, because I don't have the partners and a class situation to do that. So even though I'll number them from one to several hundred, it won't necessarily be. That's the way I teach in a numbering system. Okay, thank you for your time. Enjoy the day.